Welcome back to Smoky Ribs. Today I'm doing Cubanos, Cuban sandwiches. It's going to involve the pit barrel cooker. Let's get busy.
If you want to cook backyard barbecue till you get your feel, you come to the right place. Restaurant Smoky Ribs. Smoky Ribs. Smoky Ribs.
This is probably one of the most labor-intensive sandwiches you'll ever do. It's not a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I promise you. We're going to take a pork butt. The pork butt that I picked out is as small as I could find over there at my butcher over there in Long Beach, and it's like 4.5 pounds. And the reason being, I don't need a huge pork butt because of the time factor in cooking it. I want this to cook up at least in around 5 to 6 hours tops, because there's more work to be done after that. So I went with the smaller pork butt. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to marinate it in a Mojo marinade along with a Mojo injection. All right, let me show you how I do my Mojo. First off, you can use fresh oranges, and you can make a sour orange juice by just adding simply either lime or lemon or grapefruit to orange juice. You can find a lot of recipes online for that, but what I've got here is a sour orange in a bottle, ready to go. Ordered this off Amazon. I'll have a link in the description if you're interested in taking these out and just buy this. Smells really good. I got 20 ounces going in. All right, now what I'm going to add in is around 2 ounces of triple sec. It's got a really nice, strong, prevalent orange flavor as well. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, I think I undershot the size I was going to need here. Let's just simply transfer this into a bigger glass bowl. All right, now the first thing I'm doing to this pork butt is I'm doing an injection. And because of that, I'm not going to be adding fresh garlic into this yet. I will before we use it as a marinade. But as an injection, all we're putting in is garlic powder. I've got about 1.5 tablespoons of garlic powder. Got a teaspoon of onion powder. I've got a teaspoon of oregano. Now I'll pulverize this a little bit more than what it was out of the jar with a mortar and pestle, so it won't get clogged up in my needles on my injector. Got 1 tablespoon of salt. Got a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You can omit that if you don't want to add that. Right now, I've got 1 teaspoon of cumin. All right, now you just want to whisk all this in really well. That smells great, just like it is. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to heat this up for a few minutes. Not cooking or anything, I'm just heating it up so all these flavors will really come together. All right, I'm gonna bring this up to a real low simmer. Gonna let it simmer for around 2 minutes. 2 minutes, gonna cut it off. We're gonna let this cool back down to room temperature. I'll probably end up putting it in the freezer or refrigerator just to help cool it down quicker. This thing is unreal. Look at that. I think we are good to go. Let me pump it up one more time. All right, I got this injection coming out everywhere. We're fully injected. 4.5 pound Boston butt, very small roast, but that's all I need for this cook. Just me and my wife. Going to have a lot of this left over actually for tacos or whatnot. All right, now as you can see, I've got quite a bit of garlic here, and I'm just going to slice these up. All right, I'm gonna let this go for around a minute. Just let this garlic release its flavor into this oil. Not gonna take long. All right, I'm starting to smell the garlic. That's good enough. Now at this point, I'm gonna return this Mojo sauce, the same thing I used on the injection. We're just gonna give this a good mix. Turn our fire off. We don't need it hot. All right, I've transferred this pork butt, this injected pork butt, into a 2.5 gallon Ziploc bag. And all I'm going to do at this point is go in with this marinade. Make sure you get all that garlic in there. All right, I'm going to push out as much air as I possibly can. Just going to zip this up. I'm going to place this in the refrigerator. It's going to marinate overnight. And I'll see you in the morning at the pit barrel cooker. right, I've had this pit barrel cooker fired up for around 20 minutes. This is what we're looking like. We're looking pretty good. They're not completely ashed over, but I'm running about 255 degrees. All right, now traditionally, your Cuban sandwiches, the pork in that is not smoked. It's normally just roasted in like an oven. But I'm going to put my twist to it, and along with these charcoal, I'm putting orange wood. This comes from the orange tree. It's supposed to be a very mild smoke. I think I'm putting enough chips on here to give this at least a good hour, hour and a half before they burn completely up. We'll see how that goes. All right, I'm gonna hang this here. We're gonna let this go till I get an internal temperature of 160 degrees. At that point, I'll show you what I'm doing next. Start our thermometer. There we go. Put your lid on. Cover it tightly. Let the temperature level out. And we'll be back at 160 degrees internal temp. All right, now as you can see, I'm running 45 degrees, 44 degrees roughly internal temp. I've got 268 degrees. It's fluctuating on the temperature inside the pit barrel cooker, right around the height of the rebar there. Now these things run typically between 270 and like 325. That's the range that you can expect with these. All right, I'm gonna be monitoring this. I've only had the lid on for like 5 minutes, so we'll see what happens from there. All right, I just hit 160 degrees internal temperature on this pork butt. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Got to remove the probe first. Be careful, it is hot. Here we go. All right, I'm removing these hooks from this pork butt. I'm gonna take this leftover marinade and we're gonna add it over the top of this pork butt and into this pan. Look at all that garlic. I'm gonna take and cover it with foil, aluminum foil. All right, we're gonna remove the rebar for a few seconds, which will allow me to put the grate in place. I'm going to transfer this on top of the rack here. Going to take my meat probe and insert it back into this meat that we've been monitoring with. All the way in. There we go. Pork butt had a really nice color. It's got all the smoke it can stand at this point. We're going to finish it off inside this pan with the marinade until it reaches an internal temperature around 185, possibly 190. I'm not really looking for pulled pork from this, but I do want it super tender, but still be able to slice it somewhat. So I think we're going to be able to achieve that the way we got it here. All right, I just repositioned my probe, this time right on the grate. Once again, you do want to put this rebar back into its slots to help control the ventilation inside of this pit barrel cooker. All right, I just hit between 189 and 190. You got to excuse the flickering. That's just some sort of interference between the camera and the iGrill. When I'm looking at it, it doesn't flicker, just so you know. All right, I'm getting ready to pull this. I'm gonna take it inside, and I'm just gonna let it hang out for around an hour. It's already wrapped up pretty tight. We're just gonna let it cool down and get happy. We'll see you inside here shortly. Just about like this. Now, if you notice, I brought this up to right at 190 degrees. You can pull pork at 195, 200 is where I normally take it. But if you stop at 190, as you can see, you can get a nice slice, but it's still just super tender. Look at that. Flavor is unreal. our Cubanos, our Cuban sandwiches, they are ready. Let's take and cut these. Traditionally, they cut these at an extreme bias. So I'm going with this right here. There we go. Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? All right, let's do a taste test. The moment of truth. A lot of work involved, but let's see if it's worth it. It just screams deli, man. You ever been to a really, really good deli and just loved your sandwiches? That's what this is. This is really, really good. Hope you give it a try. I would say it's easy to make, and it really is. Putting a sandwich together was a snap. The only thing you have to do is make your Mojo marinade, and you do have to do your pork butt. But I know a lot of you barbecue anyway, and you do pork butts all the time. Next time, go with these flavors and make you some Cubanos. You won't be sorry. Until next time, Smoky Ribs.